Meet Bailey, an adorable 10-year-old German Shepherd who has retired from duty and is now spending his last days in the beautiful countryside with lots of great views. He is in the care of a loving couple, the Smiths. Bailey spent most of his years offering significant service to the police force with his human partner, Liam, helping to solve countless cases and finding multiple missing people. But what happened this time nobody expected. But before we start our story, smash the like button, make sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you won't miss any new stories. You know what they say about destiny and how it has its way of always coming true? Bailey was born for one purpose, one he wasn't aware of the moment he first opened his eyes, but later got to find out where his path in life will be. Bailey might be clueless at first as a pup, but he knew he was destined for a far greater purpose as he grew. He slowly learned about his family and his environment. Bailey came from a family of ex-police dogs. His mother was an accomplished retired police dog. The process of undergoing training to be a proper police dog is a difficult one that covers many responsibilities. Bailey was raised as a sweet pup that is relatively too innocent for attack strategies, explosive searching. Bailey has other puppies in his family that was all enrolled in the Police Dog Academy. However, of all his 6 siblings, only Bailey and his sister were strong enough to overcome the rigorous training and soothed to be a police dog. Bailey became the pride of his family, but this was only the beginning. As Bailey moved to join the police in full force, he had hidden fears. Fear of the unknown, fear of either he would be good enough or capable of protecting others. He was no longer with his family. He spent his day working and his night sulking. Usually, police dogs work with multiple other officers on rescue missions. Bailey seems uncooperative with any other officer except Liam. Their relationship ran too deep that it would not be wise to split them up. They are great partners, so they continued to be. Often, police dogs live with a family that is not directly related to the police force. This is done to give the dog a chance to feel loved and belong to a family, like other normal dogs. Bailey was put under the care of a random family. A lovely couple was chosen for him, a police dog during the day, and the attention of a family at night. At first, this was strange to him. Receiving warmth, hugs, and kisses was not the way he was trained. However, he couldn't help leaning into the warmth and feeling loved. He was also able to get proper rest after his long days at work. The couple gave all their love to Bailey and took care of him to the best of their ability. When the couple discovered they would soon be parents for the first time as their baby is on the way expecting their first child, they knew there were going to be a lot of changes in the family. The couple spent emotional days loving and caring for Bailey. They've grown to love him, but they couldn't help but make the critical decision to give Bailey away. They informed the police force to find a new place for Bailey to live as soon as possible. It didn't take Liam a second more to sign up for Bailey's adoption and let him live in his apartment. That same evening, Liam took Bailey home after work. As a single man who is married to his job and lives alone, his apartment was self-contained. Patrol dogs obtain police dog training in many aspects of daily police life, from finding suspects to protecting their officers and subduing criminals. Bailey has taken a series of training that he knows what to do in every situation. Bailey had his good and bad days. Some cases were so easy for him to crack, and others that were not so easy. Bailey was faced with one of his most significant challenges when he and Liam were tasked with a case of finding a little girl that had been missing for almost 2 days. Bailey started to unravel the case by sniffing some of the missing girl's old clothes to discover her scent. When he was sure he had sniffed well, they launched a full search for her with police force squads following Bailey's lead. Finally, the little girl was found. It was discovered that the missing girl took off as her parents began their usual argument. She sought refuge at her aunt's house and cried to her cousin, who hid her in her room. The parents promised to work on their relationship before taking their daughter home. It is said that experience is the best teacher. Bailey's experience is something he had undergone personally through years of hard work. Throughout his time with the police, he also got better at the hard parts like protecting his partner Liam. One day, a gun was pointed at Liam. Bailey pushed him out of the way. The bullet slightly missed them. Luckily, neither one of them ever got seriously hurt during the job as the bad guys were put behind bars. Nonetheless, all this hard work did start taking its toll on Bailey. Bailey had such a busy career serving his country. He saved as many people as he could, and being a good protector to his partner. At age 8, Bailey was retired from service. He was honored for his diligent work and allowed to enjoy his last couple of years in peace. 8 great years were spent working with his buddy, always by his side protecting him. Although it was hard to say goodbye, Liam knew it was the right thing to do. Liam made sure to spend his very last summer vacation with Bailey thoughtfully. He threw him a party and took him on a picnic. Bailey was put up for adoption, and because he's a very lovable dog, he soon got adopted by a lovely couple whose kids were almost ready to move out. Bailey's new owners, the Smiths, fell in love with him at first sight and spoiled him as much as they could. Bailey had lived in this new family for a whole year. He thought he would never find a friend like Liam, which is true, but he found a family and a home with the Smiths. Luckily, their limited space problem was quickly solved when the couple's son moved out of the house, and they didn't have a need to be in and around the city center anymore. Afterward, they started a search for a new place to live. Thomas Smith and his wife Jane always took Bailey with them when they checked out a new building. They wanted to involve Bailey in their decisions, and they also trusted his instinct. The Smiths care enough for Bailey that they were curious about how he would react to the place, and mostly the surrounding environment. What was most important is finding himself the best place. Eventually, the couple finalized on a lovely, spacious old house away from the city and the countryside. The decision to keep that house was more of Bailey's decision than theirs. Their new home was perfect for them, and mostly for Bailey, as there was lots of room in the house to run around and exercise. The outside scenery also has dozens of places to explore together nearby. The Smiths had the best view that features mountains, green pastures, and the ocean. What's not to like about walking? It's free, it's easy to do, and it's easy on the joints. And there's no question that walking is right for you. Thomas and Jane started making long walks multiple times a day, and Bailey seemed to be enjoying every second of it. He gets to tone his leg and abdominal muscles. The family visited the woods and small villages and even made friends with other dog owners interested in a stroll. Making new friends was difficult for Bailey at first because he didn't have so many social skills. He tried his best to mingle and soon learned it was fun playing with the other dogs. He also discovered he played a little too hard for the other dogs because most dogs were small compared to him. However, Bailey was a smart dog, and he quickly learned to play less rough. He was slowly starting to understand how life was for other dogs. Bailey loves running with his owners. His joy of running is often infectious. Even when Thomas may not feel motivated to exercise, the guilt of depriving his dog of a favorite activity is usually enough to spur him on. Bailey enjoyed all the extra activities he was getting, and he also loved exploring all the different pathways and trees in the area. He had the energy of a young pup again, and Thomas could often barely keep up. Jane could hardly stand a chance, so she would mostly stay home. In the new house, Bailey was only allowed on the ground floor. The attic and basement were not allowed to enter for Bailey, but Bailey was acting strange around the door of the basement. One day, when the family came back from their walk, they found the basement door open. Bailey ran down. Instead of acting strange, Bailey now started barking at the wall. He did not stop. When they knocked with a hammer, they heard there was something behind it and decided to open it. After discussing for a long time, they decided to break open the wall. Behind the wall, they find an old safe. Where did it come from? The previous owner was an old, rich man. He lived in the countryside house for many, many years. He had built the house himself. Everybody knew the old man had a lot of money, but no one knew how he got to his riches. Everybody talked about the man, and there were many rumors. He was almost never home, so he must have had another house somewhere. The biggest rumor was that he was an art thief, and that he had a lot of stolen paintings hidden somewhere. Other people were sure he was a smuggler and smuggled all kinds of things around the world. After a lot of thought, they decided to involve the police. Before they break open the safe, they wanted assure there was nothing strange inside. The best way to check if there is something strange inside an object is by using an X-ray. They decided to do an X-ray. They see there is definitely something inside the safe, but they cannot determine what. The day has come. Today they will know what was inside the safe. Inside the safe, they find an old Van Gogh painting. The reward money is donated to the Police Dog Academy. Let us know what you think about this story, and don't forget to share it with your friends. It might inspire them and brighten their day.